If you want to stay up to date with all current hip-hop events and releases, make sure to subscribe and become part of this community. Oh, and also, go cop that fresh merch and listen to my new album in the description. Alright, everybody listen, we got some Donda news. We are getting closer to its release date, apparently, but also we have another listening party scheduled, so all of that we're going to talk about today, because at some point we got to get this album. We've been waiting for such a long time that at some point, you know, we got to get some hints, we got to know what's going on, because we've just been waiting for such a long time. Anyway, let's get into what's actually new, and that is that a new listening party is scheduled for this album, Donda. This time it is in Chicago though. So far we were in Atlanta at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. This time around it is going to be at the Soldier Field Stadium on August 26th. So next week, again a Thursday, and then we all have the hope that it's going to drop that midnight. So on Friday, or at least the next day. Kanye usually doesn't drop at midnight. He always needs some extra stuff around there. But at least we know what's going on. We know that we're getting another listening party. So far, I really like the first two, the second one specifically. But again, everybody thought that we're going to get the album after those listening parties, but we never did. So this time around, we are hoping that we can actually get that album. There's some more information on this listening party that was revealed in a Billboard article, and I want to go over that with you guys right here. So the article reads, similar to the Atlanta Donda events, Jonathan Josel will be producing the show with involvement from Balenciaga creative director Dimna Gvasalia. West confident Amir Sudan tells Billboard. West's personal videographer Nico Ballesteros will also be filming the live event, which will again be live streamed on Apple Music. The Chicago production will be grander than the previous Donda event, says Sudan. Expect a more detailed show on a whole nother level. I mean, guys, that is something. That at least tells us that we're gonna get another step up yet in this so far progression of those listening parties, because the first one was really kind of disappointing. Kanye wasn't really doing a lot of stuff. We were just seeing him in the middle of that big arena, just standing there, sometimes doing some weird prayer movements, and we heard some demo versions of the songs. But the second one featured amazing sets by Dimna, and also Kanye just putting on a whole nother level of performance on there. So I'm hoping that this new one is going to be yet another step up in that. Again, I like that he's working with Balenciaga creative director Dimna, because that is someone who I personally look up to very much in the fashion world, and I love that two of my favorite creative people, Kanye and Dimna, are getting together at the show. I love that collaboration. But let's actually talk about another interesting thing that we saw on Instagram, because some fans, of course, were asking about the release date, and one specific comment or one specific person asked, after this, will he finally drop the album? Because obviously that's what everybody's asking. When is Kanye actually gonna drop the album? We've been waiting for this thing for such a long time, for two listening parties now a third one is announced. We're not even sure if he's gonna drop it after that. I mean, so far the record says 0 out of 2, so it might just be 0 out of 3 on the next one. But actually, a very important person, Kanye West's personal manager Boo Tiem, replied to this person and said 100%. So if Kanye's manager, who's been working very close to him for a long period of time now, is saying that we're going to get this 100%, I'm not sure. That's pretty clear. But also, Kanye did release a whole trailer for this project during the NBA Finals, during which he premiered a new song, No Child Left Behind, to be specific. But then also said Donda dropping this Friday, but it never dropped. So who can we trust more? Kanye actually putting out a big budget commercial during the NBA Finals, or his manager replying to someone just kind of randomly on Instagram? I'm not sure. At least for the second listening party, we didn't actually get a announcement that it was going to drop that week. We just knew that after the first one we were probably going to get it, but we didn't. So maybe this time around, we're going to get it. As this comment said, the fans are waiting. They're waiting to finally get this album. We've been waiting for this for over a year. Last summer, he also announced that thing, but it never dropped. Back then it was titled Donda with Child, and we got a track list that still featured that Travis Scott track, Washed Us in the Blood, but we never actually got the album. And we thought it was just going to be scrapped like Yandhi, and we thought it was just going to be left in some, Kanye archive. But the fact that we're finally getting this, I think, is very exciting, but it's just a bummer that this whole rollout has been so messy. But in some way, I can kind of see the genius behind this. Honestly, one theory that I have is that the album is never actually going to drop on streaming services, but rather Kanye will just be like, after 5 listening parties, he'll be like, yo, y'all got the album, I performed it. And he envisions like a new way of people listening to music just through live performances, because in that way the artist can directly express the feeling in which they wanted the album to be heard by the fans. Also, by him working together with DONDA, we can see that he's has some artistic vision in his head. He wants those fashion influences that DONDA and their shared love for Martin Margiela, for example, he wants those to be connected to the album. Somehow they are, and only by seeing that the fans can actually understand the true intention behind the record. But that's just a theory of mine. We're probably going to get the album on streaming. It's all, it's about the sales. I think Kanye would be a person to do that, but not like yet. I think they're still out to put out the album, but maybe in the future we're going to see something like that. And this could also be just a big marketing plot by just hyping up the album. I don't think that people are actually that tired of it that they're not going to listen to it. A lot of people always say that. They're like, yo, we didn't get it after a listening party, now I don't care about it. Those people will still be tuning in when the album drops. You can't tell me that those people are not going to be interested in what the final album sounds like, because this is one of the most hyped up things over the, in the past like 5 years that I've ever, seen. Everybody's talking about Donda. It's all up on Instagram. The memes are there. It's going to getting compared to CLB. The fact that those two big artists, Drake and Kanye, are dropping around the same time, maybe on the same date. That's just gotten a lot of media attention, a lot of media coverage, a lot of social media attention as well, which is really driving this whole thing. So yeah, this thing is going to go down as probably one of Kanye's biggest albums, because he has that as like peak of controversy and doing whatever he wants, especially after that split from Kim, especially after the Gap deal with Yeezy. So I think that this thing is still going to drop as an album, and we're probably going to get it very soon. This is all just a big marketing plot by Kanye. But honestly, that's just my opinion on this, because I only can view it from my perspective. But I hope that these pieces of information gave you some more insight into this. Maybe you can form your own opinion, because that is truly, really what I'm interested in. Let me know in the comments what you think about the whole rollout process for Donda so far. What do you think about the fact that we got a 3rd listening party? What do you think about the fact that it is in Chicago this time? Maybe it's like a homecoming. Kanye was born in Atlanta, but he was raised in Chicago, so maybe that is somehow connected. That's my theory on this. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments down below. If you watched this video to the end and liked it, and you want to stay up to date with all current hip-hop events and releases, make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, hit that like button, and go follow my social media and blog down in the description. It really helps me out. Until the next one, y'all have an incredible day, and y'all take care.